So, we're starting section 2, and we're going to be solving inequalities by addition and subtraction. This is going to be really similar to some stuff that you guys have done with equations, but it's been a while, so it'll be a little bit of a review for you guys. Okay, so we've got x plus 9 is less than 12. Again, I would really want you guys to be able to look at that inequality sign and know what it means. Okay, it has a less than sign. So when you read that, you can read it as a statement. X plus 9 is less than 12. Okay, that's pretty important. To solve this, this would be like in Algebra 1A, you guys probably did like the river. Do you guys remember doing that with equations?
Yeah, okay. You go through the line.
Same idea here, and I don't push that a lot. In fact, I kind of prefer, if you don't need to do it, to kind of move. I think of that kind of like training wheels, right? You kind of get rid of it when you don't need it anymore. If you still need it, absolutely you can do it. I'm not going to show it on every single one, but your inequality sign, you're pretty much going to treat it just like an equal sign when solving. Okay, I'll still keep it as a less than sign. But when I'm talking about solving, I want to get the variable by itself, okay? I want to get the x on one side, have an inequality sign, and then a number on the other one. My final answer should be like x is less than a number, or x is greater than a number, okay? Is everybody good with that? Mm-hmm. All right, so if I want to get the x by itself, I have to cancel out whatever else is on that side, okay? So in this case, I have to cancel out the 9. And since this is addition, how do I undo addition? Subtraction. So I subtract 9. And whatever I do on that side, I also have to do on this side because I have to keep it balanced. Those will cancel out. And then my inequality sign just comes down. And I am left with 3, or x is less than 3. On the first two, I'm going to graph the solution here. There's a few on your homework that's going to ask you to do that, not all of them, so just make sure you read the directions. So I'm going to graph the solution here. So go ahead and make your number line. Okay. And to graph, I need to figure out, is it going to be an open dot or closed dot on 3? Open. It is an open because x has to be less than 3. That means it can't actually be 3. So the open dot means I'm not including 3 with the solution. And then I would shade which way? Left. To the left. Okay. What I want to talk about here, just to make sure that we understand, the reason that we're shading, the reason that we're graphing like this, everything over here that's shaded is a solution, okay? So you can check, and it should work for both our answer here and the original inequality. So like 2 is in the shaded area, right? Okay, so that should be a solution. If I plug 2 in, is that true? 2 is less than 3. Yes, if I plug it in up here, it should also work. 2 plus 9 is 11, which is less than 12. Okay, so you should be able to check anything in your answer here and make sure, kind of like when we were solving equations, you know how you can plug your answer back in and check, right? You can do the same thing, anything that works in your answer here. So like, would 0 be a solution here? Okay, if I plug 0 in, it should work. 0 plus 9 is 9, and that's less than 12.
I'm confused on how they're supposed to grab you.
All right, so number 2, same principle. We've got y minus 14 is, what's that? Greater than or equal to 5. I need to solve, I need to get the y by itself. Okay, so I have to cancel out the 14, but since that's subtraction, how do I undo it?
You add it.
Adding. So 14 to both sides. The inequality sign is just going to come straight down. Okay. So y is greater than or equal to 19. Okay. Let's check a couple values. What is a number that would work here? 20. Okay, 20 is greater than or equal to 19. If I plug 20 in, 20 minus 14 would be 6. Is that greater than or equal to 5?
Indeed.
Yes, it is. Okay. Let's graph the solution for this one. Okay, so would that be a open or closed dot on 19? Closed, because it can be equal to 19. And then if I want y to be greater than or equal to, it needs to be shaded to the right. Okay. So all these values, so again, what the shading is meaning, all these values over here to the right should work there. They are those, all of those numbers are solutions. Okay, does that make sense? 20 would be a solution. Anything in between there, 19.5, 19.6, and it keeps going, so it doesn't just stop here. Numbers all the way to the right, so even like 50 and 100 would all be solutions. Okay, that shaded area represents all of the solutions to that inequality. Okay, we've got 8 is greater than h minus 3. Okay, so notice on this one, the variable's on the other side, right? It's not going to change how we start things out. That's all going to be the same. But what I want you to focus on, I'm trying to get the h by itself. Okay, so I think a lot of times we're used to just doing things on the left side. Okay, but it's not always the left side. I'm trying to get h by itself, so I need h by itself on that side. So what do I need to cancel out here?
3.
The 3. Is everybody good with that? So if this is minus 3, how do I cancel it out? I need to add 3 to both sides. Okay. So I get 11 is greater than h. And again, if we're going to graph, and I would prefer, I'm probably not going to count it wrong, but it typically, so our answers all look the same, I would flip it around so the variable is first. Okay. Typically, that's how we want our answers to look. Okay. So our solution is h is less than 11. Okay. And we are going to graph this one. So again, having it in this form is going to help make the graphing part easier. Got 10, 11, and 12.
Do you want?
Okay. So do I have an open dot or closed dot on 11?
Open.
Open, and then shaded which way?
Left.
To the left. Okay, so all of these values over here are solutions. So like 10 should be a solution. Anything to the left there would be a solution. If I plug 10 in, it should work. 10 minus 3 would be 7. Is 8 greater than 7? Mm-hmm. Okay, this one tends to throw people off sometimes. Yeah, m is less than or equal to negative 2 plus m. A lot of people get confused because there's a negative, but then there's also a plus sign. So what do I need to do? Well, I'm trying to cancel out the negative 2. Okay, so Serenity?
I do.
Yeah, to cancel out a negative, you need to add. So add 2 to both sides. Okay. Is everybody good with why that cancels out and I would not be using subtraction? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I get 16 is less than or equal to m. And just like last time, I'm going to flip it around so that I have m is greater than or equal to 16. Okay. I don't think we'll graph that one just for the sake of time. I think you guys are pretty good on graphing. So, all right. The same sort of process, but there's going to be a variable on both sides of the inequality. So that was number what, 4?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got 3x plus 12 is greater than or equal to 2x minus 4. Okay. And this is going to be kind of working on something that we're going to do more of later when I have variables on both sides of the equation. The very, very first thing that I would do before doing anything with the numbers, the 12 or the -4,
Get X bucks.
you want to get the x's on the same side. Yep, get the x by itself. So typically, I want to subtract the smaller one. That way I get a positive number. Does that make sense? So I want to subtract the 2x. Because that will cancel it out over there. And I have to do the same thing on both sides. And I get x plus 12 is greater than or equal to -4. Then what do I need to do?
You need to add 4. No.
Subtract your 12.
If I add
No,
4
you
here, I would get a 0
You
on.
subtract 12.
Yep, I need to get the x by itself, so subtract 12. Subtract 12. -4 minus 12 is negative 16. Okay. This should probably be our last example. Everything here is going to work exactly the same. I just have to simplify to get rid of the parentheses before I do anything else. Okay? So when I have parentheses and I'm multiplying, excuse me, I have to distribute the 2. And don't forget to take it times the second thing. I see that a ton where somebody will take 2 times x and then forget to multiply it by anything else. Okay? So I've got 2x minus 4 is less than, and then I have to do the same thing over here. 3x minus 15. Okay. And then what do I need to do? Serenity?
You subtract the smaller.
Yeah, I need to get the variables on the same side. Now notice if I tried to subtract 3 here, if I tried to subtract 3 from 2, I would get a -1, right? Subtract the smaller number, okay? So I would subtract the 2. That'll cancel it out. Now, something else to pay attention to here, even though I canceled the 2x out, don't lose that minus sign. It's going to come down as a negative, okay? It's like you have 0 here minus 4 is -4. And then that's just a 1x minus 15. I need to get x by itself. So what do I have to do here?
Add 15.
Add 15.
Which gives you 11.
Yep.
Is less than X.
And then flip it back around. There we go. Okay, that wasn't that bad, was it? Anybody have any questions?